What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk, episode 70. CJ reporting live from his girlfriend's room or
Back
closet.
here. We back here.
Uh,
We have a lot to get to, like always. Trade deadline has come and gone. It was lively, to say the least. Teams were making moves to make moves. We're going to talk about the biggest losers and the biggest winners of the trade deadline. We'll talk about after the trade deadline and who kind of is the new team, or are the Suns too good to catch up to? And finally, since the All-Star game is this weekend, Team Bron or Team KD. We'll see who we think is going to win. But biggest losers first. Who do you guys have as the biggest losers of the trade deadline?
Oh man. The Kings. I understand, initially they're trying to, fight for a playing spot. And although when at first the news broke down, I was so confused. I mean, looking what they got Dante DiVincenzo, they got who else did they get? They got Sabonis. I mean, they're good pieces, but I feel like they gave too much. Tyrese is a hooper. It's crazy. And the rare part is he wanted to be there. Myles talks about it all the time. Like, imagine being a fan of these types of franchises and, these players, when they get shipped off there, like nobody wants to be there. They get drafted there. But he actually wanted to be in SAC. He wanted to win it. He wanted to win there, but they shipped him off. And it's crazy because it was after that interview where he said that, that he wants to be in SAC and he wants to help them win and all that. And it's just, yeah, the Kings for me are, in my opinion, are the losers. But could you argue for my team also? Making no moves? Man.
I didn't even think of that, dude. I wasn't even considering them.
My gosh, man.
Damn.
No type of moves? Come on, man. Like nothing, not even one. And, you know, that just goes to show that, we're not being aggressive and we want to win with what we started. But I believe even the slightest move should have been made. But, that's why I'm not a GM. But realistically, I would say I would put the Lakers there, but the Kings just because of what they had to give up for me.
Damn. It's crazy that you brought up the Lakers because they were not on my radar at all. I'll address them
Yep.
after, but the team I have
Yes.
is Portland, man. They shipped off pretty much every rotation piece except for Dame,
Facts.
and they got garbage back for it. No good picks. I mean, yeah, you have Josh Hart. I love Josh Hart, but he's
Mhm.
no third best player on a championship team. I know they made around 60 million in cap space, but even so, even though the free pool is kind of deep, there's a lot of player options, there's a lot of restrictions. Looking at the list, there's two guys, best case scenario. Say they can lure away Zach LaVine and DeAndre Ayton. Like this is reaching too. This is best case scenario. I don't even think that's enough to win. So I would love to hear Dame's like mindset on everything, because there's no way he stays loyal to this, right? There's no way.
Don't run from the grind, bro.
I mean, hey, like the Lakers stupidly hung on. Well, not stupidly. I was pretty mad about it at the time. When I heard about the deal for Von Wall, we had to give up Russ and the 2027 first round pick.
Mhm.
Whenever I talk to people, they're like, dude, that's your guys' soonest first round pick. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I mean, what can we do? You gotta shoot and you gotta take risks to contend.
Facts.
But now that they kept it, if Dame tries to force his hand in the summer to the Lakers, obviously I'm biased, you know that. Um, if Russ, THT, and a first rounder is enough, that's great. But I mean, again, if you're Portland, like you get 1 or 2 first round picks out of tanking or out of like just full on rebuilding. And it's not like you're a big free agent destination. So they're the biggest losers to me for sure.
Fair.
Yeah, I was very tempted to put the Lakers, but considering that they have no cash, they have no picks, I didn't feel like it was fair to kind of put them in that situation or in that position to be the biggest loser. Plus, I mean, moving big contracts like that is damn near impossible in the middle of the season. So I'll let them. We'll leave them where they are. The Dallas Mavericks, that Porzingis deal made zero sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, Porzingis has dealt with a lot of injuries. I don't know if you guys saw Tim Legler say like he's a unicorn because you never see him.
Yeah, that was comedy.
It's true. It was true. He is almost always injured. He's not even playing that well this season. He can't shoot anymore. With all this being said, you traded him for Dinwiddie, who's been really bad this season. 12 points per game, 37% from the field, 31 from three. And apparently everyone on the Wizards wanted him off the team. He was so bad. So that's the big get here. And then, you get Bertans, who is 5.7 points. The field goal percentage is low because he's mainly used for threes, but this is a guy who 2 seasons ago was like hitting 40% of his threes. Now he's down to 31%. So it's not a great package for someone who's kind of considered like a borderline star. The move made no sense. You have Dinwiddie on kind of a big contract now. Then you also have Jalen Brunson, who's up for an extension. Does this mean they're not going to offer the extension? I'm not sure. But the Mavericks were it made no sense to me. It was almost as confusing as the Montrezl Harrell for garbage picks or garbage players. The Wizards made some good moves, like getting Porzingis, I think, was a win-win situation. You dump Dinwiddie and Bertans, 2 bad contracts for 1 bad contract, but that Montrezl Harrell deal was just a very odd one. I think it was more just dump him off. Hornets got a great center, so good for them. But the Mavericks were one of my biggest losers. Kings definitely are on there too.
Yeah. Can I just say also James Harden? Loser. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
Hey, they lost by 51.
Whoa.
No, hey, you know what? I think, I didn't think the Sixers and Nets deal would actually happen. But see, that's the point of the trade. Like what is first reported and the anticipation, and then when it actually happens, it's still crazy, But no, I'm just joking. I think it's a win-win both sides, Ben Simmons, we actually get to see him play again. James Harden goes to Philly, gets his duo, right? And I think, I'm not going to say that they're the best duo in the NBA, but they're up there. That's going to be nice to watch. Embiid's going to lose his touches, but you know what? He's going to be catching a lot of lobs, and he's going to be getting the ball not as often as he would like, I'm assuming, but, it's all good because Harden will find you. And, we know what he's capable of. So, Philly, they're going to compete. And as a basketball fan, like I'm looking forward to watching them play. Same thing with the Sixers or with the Nets too.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Are we doing our trade deadline winners now?
Yeah, we can do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Sixers then.
Yeah.
I told you guys when this happened, like the fact that they were able to keep Maxey and Thibault was everything.
Yes.
Because you gave up Seth, and you gave up Drummond, which might hurt them a little bit, but again, you have like instead of 35 million sitting on the bench, not even on the bench, staying at home, you get
Yeah.
back James Harden. Um,
Facts.
I think it's a two-team race for me between Philly and Milwaukee.
Facts.
Although I'll throw the Heat in there too as like a runner-up just because they give everyone matchup problems.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I think just in terms of trade deadline, Philly came out on top to me, and I know there's a lot of pressure on James Harden as there should be, but there should also be some on Doc Rivers. See if he can actually get this team to at least the conference finals, man.
Yep.
There's no way he shouldn't be able to do that.
Yep.
Yeah, my biggest winner was Ben Simmons. This dude has been whining and crying to get out of Philly. He got out of Philly. Good for him.
Yeah.
He has a ton of pressure now. I hope he realizes the amount of pressure that's on him because he forced his way out of Philly and away from a great situation, like one of the best situations in the NBA, and he forced his way out. But he forced himself into KD and Kyrie, well, half of Kyrie, but a very good situation nonetheless. They should be that should be one of the most fluid transitions for him because KD is a great offense player, great defense player now. Kyrie fits really well off ball, or if things need to be out of Ben's hand, then on ball. I think it'll be fine. I think that's going to be a really nice transition. Another sneaky winner, Tyrese Halliburton, getting out of the basketball hell. Sacramento is not a place where good players come out of usually. I think the one exception, DeMarcus Cousins, in the recent years, and De'Aaron Fox. But De'Aaron Fox has been regressing. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with him. But I'm happy for Tyrese, even though, man, that must have hurt to get traded away from them because it seemed like he had a lot of love for Sacramento. But he's in a better place because I think Indiana is going to be a better place for him to kind of build around. He's with a great coach in Rick Carlisle, and I think it's the ability to go around a new team. It'll be good for him. But I will say the James Harden trade was great, but hearing him after today and like hearing him say like, "Oh, Philly was always just the first choice," and then there were reports last year when he was traded, him saying, "Oh, it was always Brooklyn," and it was like, make it make sense, you know. He seems kind of like very there's something off about it to me. James Harden's very his answers were not fluid today. I'll say that.
Did you guys hear Ben Simmons conference today? His was so bad.
Yeah, both of them were equally bad.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought Simmons was way worse. He was literally playing both sides of the fence, and
he definitely downplayed everything. It was bad.
And he like contradicted everything. So he's saying, "Oh, the time off wasn't about basketball. It wasn't about any coaches or players." Like, bro, what? He said that.
Yeah.
He said that.
He was downright lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
He said that the issues popped up before the playoffs. Well, he didn't ask for like out or a trade or to sit out until after. So
afterwards, yep.
That was the biggest thing to me.
One thing I thought was super funny was James Harden saying Doc Rivers is like an all-time great coach. And he is a great coach. Like he's a top 15. I think he was one of the coaches I think actually the only coach that probably didn't deserve to be on there. But I think he has the most game 7 losses or like 3-1 losses in like NBA history, something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that for Doc Rivers. But yeah, James Harden, I hope everything goes well for him. I'll just say that. But I think the whole thing with him and Kyrie, him saying that Kyrie was like, "Oh yeah, we're really good friends," like that's a bunch of bullshit. There's so many reports coming out like that James Harden and Kyrie just didn't like each other. They just didn't mix well. It was a great day for basketball today in terms of drama. There was a lot to be unfolded.
And I was just gonna say, like with Harden, and how he forced his way out. It kind of sucks because him and KD played together, and I know he wanted it to work, but we obviously don't know KD personally, but with the way that he is, because there was a report where he sounded off on the trade, where if they got the confirmation that, hey, you know what, like it's good, like go ahead and do it, and him and Ben Simmons, like you said, I think he's gonna fit seamlessly, and with Kyrie playing off ball, like they're gonna be like a nasty team. But I do want to say I forgot to mention another winner of mine, the Pacers, or not the Pacers, the Cavaliers. I'm sorry,
Oh yeah.
Cavaliers. They were good already, and then they just got even better by picking up Harris. And they're making some noise in the East, and I didn't think they were going to be back like that. And so, reuniting Jared Allen and Karras together, plus, you got Rondo hooping and Evan Mobley, and it just works. Darius Garland is an all-star. So
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love
Marketing coming back
revitalizing.
too, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say they're my second pick for being a winner because, they got better. It was already, working for them and they just improved. And so obviously they're not going to be competing for a championship, but it is fun to see the Cavs without LeBron back in the playoffs. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, before we move on to the next topic, I actually forgot they even got Karis LeVert
Karis
because
LeVert,
of how
yeah.
many trades happened over that
Oh, yeah.
past day.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
insane on how many trades. I mean, we say this every year. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But this year was just I've never seen anything like that. But that brings us to the next one. After the trade deadline, is there a new top team in the East or the West? Or are the Suns too good to catch? So as you guys know, the Suns have been on an insane heater since going 1-3 in their first 4 games. They're 45-7 since then. And they have shown that they are going to keep crushing teams. But I think they're going to slow down at some point. They need to kind of take a step back and start resting some players. And if they don't, I think that could be really detrimental because I think it kind of reminds me of the 73-9 Warriors where they're pushing. And then when they get to the playoffs, they're gassed. And you can coast to the first round. Second round, you can kind of coast because you're just that much better. But when you get to the conference finals, you can't coast. You have to be fully healthy. You have to be fully there. And you saw the 73-9 Warriors almost lost. And then they eventually lost in the finals, obviously. CP3 has played every single game this season, which is good for him. At the age of 36, that's impressive. But he's playing 33 minutes a night. I respect that they want to keep racking up the wins, but at some point you have to be able to just rest their players. CP3 is a guy I would rest on back-to-backs. He's not going to get any younger. And for a guy that has had a pretty large injury history as of recently, I would start to rest him to kind of get him ready for the playoffs. They're going to need these nights off because in the playoffs, you don't get that. And I think they need to start thinking about the long-term parts of the season and not just winning a bunch of games to get that first seed. Because that first seed is, as long as you're a top 4 seeded in the West, most likely you're going to get home court advantage. So I would start to rest players. But I say this to say the Suns should still run through the rest of the regular season. I think they'll come out the first seed. But in the playoffs, I think they're going to kind of fall back. And I think the Warriors are going to catch up to them. The Warriors are going to get healthy. And I have confidence that Wiseman and Draymond are going to be back. And I think that should put them over the top and hopefully make it to the finals. In the East, I'm going to pick the Sixers. They're so fucking stacked now. Harden was a great get. He and Embiid should be a good fit. As long as Harden buys in, I think it'll work out fine. but Giannis dropped 50, so you never know. Maybe he just goes on a complete heater and wills the Bucks. But I'm not sold on the Bucks this season as much because I think Chris Middleton hasn't been that good, or not as good as he has been in the past. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think there's a new team in the West, or do you guys think the Suns are just going to run away with it?
Oh man, I hate to say this. The Suns, they're just they're just good right now. They're hooping. And 1 through 5, they have good players. But I like what you said about having to rest guys because now that they're in the first seed and they know what they're capable of doing when everybody's there and healthy, they should consider the fact that everybody, or not everybody, that players should be resting. And I know as fans, like we don't want to see that, but this is for their success when it comes postseason time. Um, Moving forward, like you said about CP3 Spence, about his history of being injured, at this stage in his career, if he's not careful, one little nudge or something like that, he can get hurt and it can be bad. And, the Suns have shown that they have an elite bench that can carry the load when he's not in. So, why not take a night off, right? It is important to get your rest in. And, Devin Booker, ever since that mask fiasco, he's been hooping too. So, the Suns are still the best team, and it's so annoying. But at the same time, I have a friend that's a Suns fan, so I guess I'm happy for him. And in the East, I really do want to say, the Bucks, but it is kind of suspect with how Chris Middleton's been playing, and I just think the Bucks are deep, and they still have Giannis, who's been, oh my god, that game against the Lakers, man, yeah, and the talk,
Dude, he's
and the
averaging
talk,
like 45 points against us.
yeah, bro, it's insane.
Something
Like
stupid like that.
He's the new
that
king.
boy, oh man, that boy should be in LA. But anyways, after what Giannis did last season, I just gotta tip my hat off to the guy and how he carried. But the Sixers is just they're stacked. It's crazy, and I don't want to put Harden and Embiid on a pedestal and compare them to Kobe and Shaq, but damn, if they make it work and the pieces around them complement them, like everybody thinks that they're gonna do it, they can make it out the East. But at the same time, will Kyrie play? Will he get vaccinated? I mean, like I said, I'm not forcing anybody to do that, but Brooklyn, that big three that they got, it could work. It could work. If you have an inspired Ben Simmons. I saw a tweet earlier today, how like imagine if, Ben Simmons just was pretending that he couldn't shoot just because he was in Philly, and all of a sudden he just starts shooting step back threes.
Nah,
But
there's no shot. This man passed up a dunk over Trae Young.
that's facts. No, that's facts. You know what? Hey, that summer league was so promising too when he was hitting jumpers. But hey, anyways, but um, I think the East is wide open, even though you would think there's a consensus best team. But I have the Sixers coming out of the East. As much as I want to say the Bucks, I do have the Sixers as well. So yeah, unfortunately, Phoenix for the West and Philly for the East.
I too like what you said, Spencer, about the Suns and rest because I hadn't thought about that. Um, I looked it up. Both CP3 and Devin Booker are averaging 33 minutes a game. DeAndre is at
Crazy.
30 or 31. But I mean, they're hungry because last
Yeah.
year was pretty bad. You could argue that they should have won the finals. As you were talking about it, they reminded me of a Lakers team in the past who got embarrassed in the finals and lit up the league the following year. So the Lakers in 08-09, that was the season they ended up beating Orlando. They went 65-17 during the regular season. So that kind of reminded me of them because again, like Phoenix kind of had that series.
Yep.
It seemed really bad after 2 games, and then the Bucks turned it around. Obviously, you have Giannis's huge moments, and the rest is history. Like I was putting in the drafts a tweet about, wow, Chris Paul really got a Finals MVP before Steph Curry, but it didn't happen. Luckily for you, Spencer, it didn't happen.
I
So
might have blocked you.
I wouldn't have blamed you. But yeah, they seem really hungry. They did start out rough, and they've been on a streak since, as you mentioned, especially after that Toronto mascot fiasco, which is still so funny. But I mean, hey,
Yeah.
whatever it takes to get wins. Yeah, I think the West is a 2.5 team race. Obviously, Golden State behind them, and then Memphis. Yeah, but if I had to pick money or pay money and bet on it, I'd pick the Suns. It would probably go 6 or 7 with the Warriors. I still remember the Christmas Day matchup, where you guys beat them pretty handily. So, but I mean, dude, Chris Paul is 36, leading this team like this. It's absurd. And in the East, I kind of fall in the same place. In no order, Philly or Milwaukee. It's so tough because I want to pick Philly, but God, Giannis is a bad man, bro. Like
Yep.
to me, he's the best player in the league, and he has solid 2 and 3 guys with Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. All 3 of those guys play on both ends. They can create their own
Underrated big
shots.
three.
Yep, they can create their own shots, create for others. So I have them 2 as the favorites in the East. I don't want to dismiss Miami again.
Yeah.
And I kind of don't want to dismiss the Bulls too, just because how hot they were to start. But it's been a while. A lot of guys have been in and out of the lineup. They're still pretty hurt right now.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I just want everyone to be healthy. I want the Warriors to maybe lose in a bad way. And I'll be happy. Don't mention the Lakers. It's all good. We're all good over here.
Well, I hope the
Play-in
Lakers get the
champs.
10th seed and get blown out.
And honestly, I hope so too, man. Put us out of our misery.
No,
Play-in
actually,
champs.
to make sure you guys don't have a lottery pick, I hope you guys get the 8th seed. Get swept
Oh, shoot.
each game by 50.
Dude, I would hate the Suns forever.
Oh yeah.
I would hate them
I
so
wouldn't
bad.
blame you.
Hey, they're trying to get us back for that season that Kobe won his fifth championship. That's
Oh
why.
yeah.
But I will say that the Bulls are kind of making their way back. DeMar's been on an absolutely insane heater. I think he's averaging like 40 something over the past 6 games.
Yep.
So he's been insane. The Bucks, I think I'm kind of getting a little worried because they have a ton of injuries piling up. Not a ton, but they have some concerning injuries. Pat Connaughton, the most recent, with his 4-week long recovery. So something to keep an eye on. You never know. The Sixers just got whooped by 51. So to the Celtics, but the Celtics have been on a tear with the 9-game win streak.
They've been hooping too. They've been hooping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, took them 2 years, but they're putting it
Seriously.
together.
Yeah.
So the final topic, All-Star Weekend is this weekend, Sunday night. Let me just say, Team Durant looks a little lopsided because my boy Wiggins is on there.
Bro. Man. How that never mind. I'm gonna save it.
I don't know how the hell this happened to you, to be honest.
I'm gonna save it.
I'm not gonna say anything negative because I love Wiggins. I gotta go Team Bron. I mean, bro, his starting lineup is insane. Steph, DeRozan, Giannis, Jokic, and some bum named Bron. I mean, you guys have teams like they're ridiculous, and then it doesn't help that Durant's gonna be out for the game, so they got Jason Tatum instead. But who do you guys have? Team Bron or Team KD? Wiggins Island, baby.
Man, it's a no-brainer, bro. Look at that. Look at the starting 5, and It doesn't matter who's on the bench. That starting five is crazy. How do
Wiggins,
you
right?
like? How does KD let that happen, bro? You know the lead GM jokes are funny, but look what he just did. Like Steph, Jokic, Giannis. Come on, man. And I feel bad because KD's not even gonna play. If he would have played, it would have been more competitive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Team Bron, and I just want to say I'm glad DeMar DeRozan is an All-Star. He definitely deserves that. Garland too, and
Yeah.
most recently Jared Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Jared
know,
Allen.
Because
I
Harden.
love that. I love that he got in.
yep, he deserves that nod. And you know, I really hope LaMelo got in there first, but the fact that he got added too, you know, it's gonna put some
Yeah.
player in the All-Star game, obviously.
Yeah. He's gonna be fun to
And that's
watch.
yep, it's gonna be fun to watch. But yeah, Team Bron, man, just 1 through 5. Look at that lineup and then tell me otherwise. Like it's insane. So
Yeah, I remember watching the like clips of the draft last week, and then
Mhm.
I looked looked today again at the rosters, and it's like, dude, did KD even pick? Like, did they even alternate picks? Bron got Giannis, Steph. You guys said it already, but like I have to repeat it.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
these dudes have so Jokic won MVP last year. Giannis won the two before that. Like, how does that happen? You got Luca off the bench. It's absurd. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I still think it'll be competitive, obviously, just because
Yeah.
it's a pickup game,
Mhm.
no defense. I would love to see just like 3 possessions each of Luca versus LaMelo 1-on-1. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
Also happy and glad that Jared Allen got in. But yeah, these teams aren't even close. And I think the nail on the coffin. You think I'm gonna say Andrew Wiggins, but it's actually Rudy Gobert. So yeah,
I'll give you that.
yeah, easy win for Team Bron.
Easy. I hope it's competitive. That's all it is. I hope it's
Yeah, I hope
competitive.
so.
And that award is nice, man. You know, shout out to my guy Kobe.
Yes,
That
sir.
award is beautiful. Like, as a player, I would be inspired to do my best, even if it's just a pickup game, to win that award alone. You know,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I just hope it's competitive because was it 2 years ago where it was really good? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yep.
Yep.
Like, I want a game like that. So yeah, here's to hoping that it comes that way.
I hope so. One more thing before we go. Do you guys think
Yeah.
Harden's ducking KD? Is that why he's not going to the All-Star game?
No, there's no
Because
way.
I
I mean,
heard
maybe.
there's speculation that he doesn't actually have a hamstring injury within the Nets organization, because they said they didn't see the injury when they did the physical.
Well, he's sitting out
Mm.
all the Sixers games until the break. So I mean, maybe he's just leaning all the way into this lie. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it
I mean,
past him.
Yeah.
maybe the clubs out there are 3 stars instead of 5.
But
Hey,
he said
man,
he
you
loves
gotta-
Philly.
Yeah. You got to get
Maybe
his
he got to
licks
get a
in
week of it in, you
before.
know?
Facts. Yeah.
That's what he's going to do during his break.
And to be
Call that
locked in.
rehab. I'll rehab something. Not my hamstring.
Facts.
Well, that's going to do it for us for episode 70 of Full Court Talk. That's how we're going to end it. But thank you guys for coming back on. This was fun. Thank you guys for accommodating me, because yesterday was a long day.
Y'all too, man.
But
Thanks.
check our links down in the description. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. But that's going to do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.